had intended to allocate 3 cabinet seats to the DA and keep 7 plus the Premier, that is 8, for themselves.
It's only the DA that is behaving like a spoiled brat. And now we must be entertaining that. Let me take other questions.
Ralihoko MPL.
I Nomantu Ralihuku MPL. Pauline Tiale Tabela MPL.
Swear that I will be with honor and dignity.
And I undertake to hold my office.
Solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to
Or indirectly any secret matter entrusted to me
Not to die.
of the province of Gauteng with honor and dignity.
Hey guys, welcome to it, man. This is the Free Ride podcast, and of course, this is a special broadcast simply to look at what happened in Gauteng, and of course, all eyes were looking at what's going to happen in the province of Gauteng, and we know that all eyes were looking at Premier Panyaza Lesufi to announce his cabinet in the province of Gauteng, and this was, of course, met with a lot of confusion, a lot of problems that were cited between the negotiations between themselves, the ANC, as well as the Democratic Alliance, and then, of course, the parties that also won seats in government that were part of now the GNU that is happening in Gauteng without the Democratic Alliance. If you remember, there was back and forth bickering that took place where the ANC was calling the DA spoiled brats.
Spoiled brat. And now we must be entertaining that.
And of course, the DA was saying that the ANC is not playing fair, is not playing ball, is not respecting the clause 16 of the statement of intent.
Had intended to allocate 3 cabinet seats to the DA and keep 7 plus the Premier, that is 8, for themselves. Now, clearly, that would be a violation of the proportionality clause. It would not in any way be proportional, not even wildly. It would not reflect the will of the voters.
They had issues around whether the allocation of seats which were being offered to the DA were 3. And the ANC wanted to take the rest, or were not saying how many they were taking to the DA. And of course, the DA was not impressed with that. And the back and forth was taking place. So let's look at the numbers. I'm about to look at Gauteng. I'm looking at the elections app, and I'm just going to take you through the numbers of what went down, okay? So first of all, there were... so the ANC got 34.76%, the DA got 27.44%, the EFF got 12.92%. But if you note, the ANC did not consult the EFF or put the EFF in the ministry, but I'll get to that shortly. The ANC sitting at 28 seats, the DA sitting with 22 seats, the EFF is sitting with 11 seats, the MK with 8 seats, Action SA with 3 seats, Freedom Front Plus with 2 seats, PA with 2 seats, Rise with 1 seat, the IFP with 1 seat, Bosa with 1 seat, ACDP with 1 seat. These are all the parties that are represented. So it means the ANC decided to work with the smaller other parties. I don't know how they managed to get to over 50% without the EFF and the MK and without Action SA, unless that arrangement was that they were going to take on responsibilities of chairpersonship of portfolio committees, but the numbers are not adding up very well. So yeah, those are the numbers. So then let's take a look at how the voting transpired. Let's take a look here. All right. So the Premier made an announcement just after 8 o'clock on the 3rd of July. And this was after a press conference that took place at Luthuli House.
Are we going to be working with the MK or the EFF? The EFF and MK have said that they don't want to be part of the GNU. We have repeatedly said that to you. So we don't know where the question arises. They said they don't want to be part of the GNU where other political parties participate because they've got the red line for that. And they've made their positions very clear that they don't recognize it. So that question does not arise to us.
Are you going to work with MK and EFF? We are working with everyone. And we have worked with everyone, as guided by the statement that the SGF indicated. What we are going to do, and we've done it, all the political parties that are part of the Gauteng legislature, all of them have agreed to work with us, including the DA.
Which was led by the Secretary General, Fikile Mbalula, to make his own announcement. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But so Premier Panyaza had to make the announcement, and the announcement was that in the following portfolio committees, the community safety now falls into the Premier's office, because he said that the days of criminals terrorizing communities and just doing whatever they want in his province are numbered. And therefore, he feels that he needs to put community safety back into his office. When it comes to e-government, the IFP has been allocated a seat. Boninkosi Dlamini has taken over that role. Treasury and Economic Development goes to Lebogang Maile, who's an ANC Comrade PC member. Education, Sports, Arts and Culture goes to Matome Cholwane, who's an ANC member. Health goes to Nomanto Nkomora Lehoko, who is an ANC member. Roads and Transport goes to Kidibone Diale, ANC. Human Settlements goes to Tasneem Motara. Agriculture and Rural Development goes to Vuyiswa Ramokhopa. She's from Rise Mzansi. Infrastructure Development and Kochta goes to SACP Jacob Mamabulu. And Social Development goes to Faith Mazibuko. She's an ANC member. So the ANC's got 7 positions. And then the last one goes to Sheila Peters, who is from the PA. Now, if you watch the swearing in, and I'll show you, actually, let's go and have a look at the swearing in of Premier Panyaza and his cabinet. And then we'll come back and then we'll talk some more.
With issues, proportional representation, we said we don't have a problem as a matter of principle, but it's proportional representation of what? So those are some of the things. Not like we're scared to deal with the details. And it's not true that we offer them to. It's not true. So please don't raise it again, because we don't want to enter into negotiations with the DA in public. But we are clear, and we said to them, let's frame this thing properly. This is not a coalition with the ANC. This is a provincial government of unity. We are inviting you. And hence, in the last meeting, they said, no, we are declining the invitation because we're not agreeing. We said, fine. But the DA did not believe that the announcement will go ahead today. Because for some reason, they believe they are in charge, they are responsible for us, and they are leading us in the legislature. We are not led by the DA. The only reason why we are here now explaining is because the national leadership of the ANC has asked that, no, maybe wait so that we intervene. ANC is a unitary structure. That's why I was saying the Premier is ready, he was going to announce, but ANC is a unitary structure guided by principle of democratic centralism, When the leadership of the ANC says, wait, we can't say no, we are proceeding because we are ready. We have concluded with other parties. In fact, maybe that's what we must say. We have concluded with other parties. It's only the DA that is behaving like a spoiled brat. And now we must be entertaining that. Let me take other questions.
Had intended to allocate 3 cabinet seats to the DA and keep 7 plus the Premier, that is 8, for themselves. Now, clearly, that would be a violation of the proportionality clause. It would not in any way be proportional, not even wildly. It would not reflect the will of the voters, and it would not reflect inclusiveness. So it was completely out of kilter.
A smooth and a day that people of Gauteng and the country have been waiting for, where the executive would have been announced by the Premier of Gauteng, Comrade Panyaza Lesufi. But the reality is that we've been in negotiations not with the Democratic Alliance alone, because the framework of the ANC is very clear. We must bring as many parties as possible. So we are not in forming a coalition or even a grand coalition with Democratic Alliance. We are following a framework of the African National Congress as adopted in the NEC. We have deadlocked not once with the Democratic Alliance in the province, because we don't believe what they are raising is really reasonable.
In doing so, we must be matured, we must be sober, we must understand each other at all times. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the political parties within the Gauteng legislature that have agreed to be part of government of provincial unity. These are uncharted waters. These are opportunities that are presented to us by our voters.
Ralihoko, MPL,
Boni Pauline Dialetlabela, MPL.
honor and dignity.
And I undertake to hold my office as
Solemnly affirm that I will be faithful
Or indirectly, any secret matter entrusted to me
not to divulge directly
of Gauteng with honor and dignity.
Welcome back. You've seen the swearing-in process of all the members who are elected as MPLs in the province of Gauteng. They have now been elected to lead the province as cabinet MECs in the cabinet of Panyaza Lesufi. And as I said, that the ANC's got 7 positions. 1 went to the IFP, 1 went to the PA, Sheila Peters, and of course the SACP was then also given 1 responsibility there. So that's it, my people. I wanted you to have a look at that, and basically it's the numbers in this coalition, and I'm not sure if the EFF, the MK, Action SA, Freedom Front Plus are going to push the ANC and its alliance over 50%, because if you look at it now, the 34% of the ANC, the EFF is not there, it's 12%, MK is 9%. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this turns out. But let's continue to see, because now the ANC in Gauteng did not make an announcement who they are going into a GNU with, but instead the Premier focused his role as a Premier of Gauteng to announce his cabinet without actually saying this is an ANC presser, this is who we're going into a GNU with. It might be that other parties will be allocated roles within portfolio committees as chairpersons of portfolio committees, that will be something that we're going to be looking out to see. All right, man, this is how we end it right here on the Free Ride podcast. It's a quick one. Wanted to just share my views and take a look at some of these interesting videos, the comments that our politicians continue to make. But otherwise, I'll see you on the other side, man. I'll keep you updated. I'll do more of these videos to keep you updated about what's going on, so that you don't just look at your prime media only, but people like us who are podcasters can also share our views to talk about what we see and how we think about the state of our country, particularly here in Gauteng. And of course, South Africa is a country that we really love, and we are patriotic to this country. So we'll continue to use our platforms to air our views. All right, man. Signing out. Boom.